Hello everyone, welcome to GS Core. So in our series for current affairs through MCQ for governance, we are back with another session having some interesting MCQs. So let us look at them. Consider the following statements regarding Bhasha Sangam initiative. So as you are aware that a lot of activity is going on in the policy, scheme and event space. Multiple things are in line, G20, SCO, etc. Right? And apart from that also, the overall landscape is very broadened. Hence, such initiatives, whether it is related to culture, language, tourism circuits, etc., continue to be in news. So let us look at these statements. It is a Ministry of Culture initiative. Well, I always talk about the mapping, the stakeholders, right? And that helps. In reality, this is a Ministry of Education initiative. So this statement is incorrect. Second, the aim of the initiative is that people should acquire basic conversational skills in an Indian language other than their mother tongue. That is correct. If we look at Bhasha Sangam, it is under the overarching umbrella of Ek Bharat, Shresht Bharat. So we have statement 2 as the correct statement, and we need to find the correct statements in the given set. So the correct answer here would be option B. Option B. Moving on. Consider the following statements regarding PM CARES Fund. So remember, PM CARES has been in news due to court proceedings, etc. Right? And though it was started during the time of COVID-19 pandemic, when the pandemic was gaining traction in the society, but the news makes it important. Let us look at the statements. While if you look at the set of statements, they are not contemporary. They are very static statements. So remember, the locus and the focus approach I talk about. While the focus might be of certain dimension in the news, the question may be asked from locus. So let us look at the set of statements that we have. Prime Minister is the ex officio chairman of the PM CARES Fund. That is correct. Minister of Defence, Minister of Home Affairs and Minister of Finance are ex officio trustees of the fund. That is also correct. Foreign donors are barred from contributing in PM CARES Fund. That is incorrect. Foreign donations are not barred. Okay. So we have 1 and 2 as the correct statement and 3rd as the incorrect. While the options here are benign, but the options might be tricky at times. Remember this, we need to find the incorrect statement. So in a rush, even if you know the correctness of the statements, you might end up marking wrong option. Right? Hence be careful. So the 3rd statement is incorrect. Hence the right option for us to mark would be option B. Option B. Next, which of the following statements regarding Parvatmala scheme are correct? It is the National Ropeways Development Program that will be implemented in the PPP mode or the public-private partnership mode. Right? That is a correct statement. Next, it is currently being implemented in northeastern states only. No. If we look at, it is being implemented in Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, right? So it is not only in northeastern states. 3rd statement, Ministry of Road Transport and Highways oversees the development of ropeways in India. That is correct. So under the ambit of Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, ropeways are also included. So remember to find out where waterways are included, which ministry. That's a sort of a task for you, right? So this stakeholder mapping, again coming to your rescue, a good source of this would be India Yearbook, right? So we have first and the third statement as correct statements. Hence the correct answer here to mark would be option C. Option C. Moving on. Which of the following statements is or are incorrect? Please be very, very careful about one nation, one ration card scheme. Existing ration cards will be turned into one nation, one ration card. That is correct. That is precisely the motive, to provide portability. Next, the integrated management of PDS portal will help a beneficiary to access subsidized food grains within a state. Well, that is not correct. Though it is linked to the public distribution system, the IMPDS portal is actually to record all purchases under one nation, one ration card. Okay, so not within a state. So this statement is incorrect. Let us look at the third statement. Anna Vitran portal records all purchases made under ONROC. No, that is not the correct statement. Actually, it will host the data of food grains distribution through ePOS devices within a state. So if you look at, these two are sort of interchanged, right? And hence this makes third statement also incorrect. Therefore, we need to find the incorrect statements. The correct answer here to mark would be option B. Option B, that is 2 and 3 only. Moving on. Consider the following statements regarding the production linked incentive scheme. It aims to promote the production of high value man-made fiber fabrics and garments and technical textile. That is true. PLI textile was there. It is only launched for electronic sector. So both the statements cannot be correct, right? Okay, because they are so mutually exclusive. This statement is incorrect. If we look at the ambit of the PLI scheme, it covers 30 odd sectors. 13 odd sectors, I beg your pardon. So second statement is incorrect. First is correct. Hence the correct answer to mark would be option A. Option A. See, it is very, very important, as I say, the mapping. And if we see PLI, it's a common knowledge that we have seen in news: PLI for textile, PLI for electronics, PLI for other things. So it is a very easy question. It is just that you should not get confused here, right? Moving on. Bhasha Sangam under Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat initiative was launched by, so this is akin to a similar question on the Bhasha Sangam asked in a different manner, where stakeholder mapping will help you, right? If you recall, in this session itself, we talked about the Bhasha Sangam, and while the question was framed like this, here the same thing can be reflected because it is under Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat initiative. Whether you know this or not, that is important. So like last time we saw, it is Ministry of Education. So since we have the wisdom that we acquired during the question 1 of this session, we can now easily say it's Ministry of Education. But if asked in isolation, you might find it difficult. So please remember the mapping, not just of stakeholders, but also the idea of scheme and sub-scheme. For example, there are multiple sub-scheme under POSHAN. Okay. So the correct answer here is A. Next. Consider the following statements regarding Pradhan Mantri Khanij Kshetra Kalyan Yojana. Remember, 2024 elections are due. So all the government's successes will be highlighted in the news, and hence it is pertinent for us to keep a track. Let us look at the set of statements that we have. The Pradhan Mantri Khanij Kshetra Kalyan Yojana will be implemented by the district mineral foundations. That is true. If you recall, we have taken up questions before on the district mineral foundation as part of these sessions. So the idea is to provide you a 360-degree coverage, right? Also remember the abbreviations and the full forms, because it helps. PM KAY, PM KKKY, these things might lead to confusion. Next statement, 60% of the DMF fund will be spent in the welfare projects of the mining affected areas. That is true. That is correct. So we have both the statements as correct. Hence the correct answer here to mark would be option C. Option C. If we talk about this welfare projects, high priority areas like drinking water supply, healthcare, sanitation, education, skill development, women and child care, welfare of the aged and disabled people, including the environment conservation, will get 60% of the funds. Next. Consider the following statements regarding ICDS, Integrated Child Development Scheme. This is a very old but a flagship, and hence from the governance point of view, these schemes matter. Integrated child development schemes, etc. So let us look at the set of statements. It provides primary health care to children under the 6 years of age and their mothers. True. The scheme primarily runs through Anganwadi centers. True. If you recall, Anganwadi was in news and continues to be in news because of wage payments. So the focus and locus approach matter. While the question might not be asked on what is focus, the question might be taking a conceptual turn here. Third statement, the scheme is under the Ministry of Women and Child Development. That is also true. So stakeholder. So since all the three statements are true and correct, hence the correct answer for us to mark would be option D. Option D. Moving on. Which of the following initiatives does not come under National Mission for Enhanced Energy and Efficiency? EV, renewable energy, right? Ethanol blending, right? All these things continue to be in news, and hence the energy efficiency is focus. Also, if you look at the ongoing G20, government is paying a lot of stress on the environment and climate factors, right? So these things matter. So if we look at the schemes, Perform, Achieve and Trade Scheme, Energy Efficiency Financing Platform, Framework for Energy Efficient Economic Development, right? All this is true. This is an old thing, 2008 vintage, okay? But all these come under this. Also, it includes the MTEE, that is Market Transformation for energy efficiency. So you should know the sub schemes or sub programs which are there under the overarching umbrella. Does not come under. Okay, so this comes under this comes under this comes. So hence the correct answer to mark would be option D. Option D. Because all of them come under the National Mission for Enhanced Energy Efficiency. Remember, the question is twisted. Do not come under and the option is twisted as well. Right? So do not come under and none of the above. Very interesting. So the language and the options make the question difficult. Next, consider the following statements regarding Payments Infrastructure Development Fund. It encourages deployment of point of sale infrastructure across India except tier 5 and tier 6 cities. That is incorrect. If we look at PIDF has been created to encourage deployment of POS, both physical and digital, in tier 3 to tier 6 centers. Next, it will help increase demand of cash flow in the market. I mean, that is a very logical thing through which you can say this is incorrect. This is idea is to reduce cash flow. Okay, so since both the statements are incorrect, the correct option for us to mark would be D, neither 1 nor 2. Right? So be very careful for the phraseology of the question. Right? So that's all for the MCQs in this session. You can attempt more such interesting quizzes by scanning the QR code or by visiting the link in the description, not just for governance, but for all the subjects related to prelims. Thank you.